Because I had this in the past where we went on a rip on some shit and I forgot to hit the record button. An hour later, we was like, fuck.
I can imagine. I can imagine.
All right. So, I mean, I'm going to be talking spoilers tomorrow or day after anyway. But damn, I liked it for what it was. Ironically, I just not too long before they started showing the trailers for the movie release, I just not too long finished reading. Oh no.
The fuck? The fuck was that?
I don't know. I didn't do it.
Oh, there you go. I was like, what the fuck? There we go. I didn't like that. That wasn't fun at all. Okay, now there we go.
Yeah. Well, like I was saying, I said, ironically, before the movie came out, before they start showing trailers and shit, I just finished reading a whole series called Thor, the God of Thunder. And it covered that same storyline and shit.
Really?
So I went in there like, oh, because I've seen the trailer. I'm like, oh, I know where that's from. Oh, I know where that's from. Because they pulled some of the stuff straight from that storyline.
Absolutely.
So I thought like, oh, this is about to be some dark, gritty shit. And then we get in there in the movie and shit, and there's a whole bunch of bright lights and colors and shit.
But that's what Thor is, man. Thor.
Oh yeah,
Thor
now.
Yeah, now. The first ones wasn't like that.
Oh no.
The first ones was dark and grim and all, you know. But these last couple ones have been, you know, they've been a little out of there.
Yeah. I think it was for the better because after Dark World or whatever, they went a certain direction with him, and then you know he came back in Ragnarok and they just kind of lightened it up and gave him like a comedic sense and all.
I think they had to. I think Dark World was too dark. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I believe so, but I thought they was going to drag this storyline out a little bit longer from after reading what I read or whatever, because it was like a 5 freaking book spread on that whole God Butcher storyline. And it was just like, he did some wild shit.
Yeah, he was real. I liked the way they did him in that movie, yo. He was real cool.
Oh yeah, they did him good for the movie as compared to the comic book representation of Gore. Yeah, it was way different. Dude had like some horns. He was like stark white.
They said that he looked a lot like I was reading something recently. They said he looked a lot like Voldemort in the comic books, and they wanted to change him out, which is why they specifically made him look different for the movie so that people wouldn't get that confused, which is dope.
Yeah, so if you can mix the two, it's more like he looked like Voldemort because it like the nose area was flat and smooth.
Yeah.
But he also reminded me of one of the variations of Majin Buu from Dragon Ball Z and shit.
That's lit.
Because like the one where he was all slim and mean and shit. That's he kind of looked like that because he had the 2 little tentacles that came off the top of the head.
That's dope.
And the dark power that he had or whatever, it wasn't so much an actual physical sword. It was more like the Venom symbiote or whatever.
Yeah, the like power that he had.
Yeah, it encompassed his whole body and everything, and he kind of like summoned it out and whatnot. And yeah, I mean, I see why they lightened it up and went the way they went because obviously it's Disney and Marvel, cinematic shit. But like that whole storyline was just like murder, like heads off. Dude bathing the whole freaking literal pool of blood to time travel and all kinds of crazy
he was wilding, yo. Yeah, he was wilding.
3 that's why I was because we did this multiverse thing with the cinematic universe now, and I thought we was going to get the 3 Thors because they had 3 Thors in the storyline for the God Butcher and whatnot. So they had
that's crazy. I didn't know that.
Yeah, they had Thor from the past, like his early iteration before he got Mjolnir. Okay, and then there was Thor of current time, and then there was God future, like King Thor in the future. That's like he looked just like Odin and everything. He had the eye patch. He was all old, had the big beard, everything, one hand. It was just crazy. I love that fucking storyline.
I'm definitely gonna look that up. I'm definitely gonna look that up.
Yeah, it's Thor, God of Thunder. And shit. Well, I just turned 40 and I just started reading comic books like months ago.
and because now they're different. Now they're like graphic novels type deals.
Yeah, because so now that I dove in, I got Marvel Unlimited and DCU Unlimited and all this other crap. And Blade is my joint. Yeah. I love Blade, and I didn't know anything about his comic book lore or anything. All I knew was Wesley Snipes. That was my shit. So I went back to the very first issue that he was featured in. Okay. And it was like an old Dracula comic because Marvel had the license for the Dracula character. And fuck, that was some reading because damn, that was just like way back in the 50s and all kinds of crazy shit. So writing was way different, and the way they talked about subject matter and whatnot, it was almost Shakespearean in the aspect. That's crazy. And it was like 60 pages of panels and just dialogue and everything. Mm-hmm. And then when you read the more modern stuff, it ain't nowhere between to like 20 and 22 pages or whatever. So that's wild. Yeah. So I was like, fuck. I started reading that first one. I was like, shit. Right. It's like 3 books in one, you know, and probably because it wasn't published as frequently as they are now, but like, hell. And what I learned about the Blade mythos and whatnot from that differs from the cinematic thing, there was no Whistler. You know, it was another guy, and it was a black dude, black British guy that found Blade when he was younger and trained him up in the ways of vampire hunting and all kinds of stuff. And Blade didn't initially have the power set that we know now, like the rejuvenating and all kinds of stuff like that. He didn't get that until he was bit by Morbius. Really? So Morbius, you know, activated his superpowers and shit. Because initially, you know, what was true from what we got from the movies, Deacon Frost bit his mother while she was giving birth to Blade. You know, so he was born, and the only thing that he got from that, he was immune to vampire bites. So he can get bit and he would never turn and whatnot. So, I mean, when he got raised and all kinds of stuff in the ways of vampire killing, I mean, he used that to his advantage because he would use himself as bait. So, you know, oh no, I'm helpless. And they bite him and shit. Just like, gotcha, bitch. So,
it's crazy.
You know, shanking motherfuckers and everything.
Damn, that's wild, son. That's crazy because Morbius, Blade, they did try to introduce him at the end of the, somehow at the end of the Morbius movie.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Which is interesting.
So, and then like we in the Marvel stuff right now, they brought him in at the end of Eternals. So, I mean, we didn't get a visual on him yet, but that was his voice in the background.
Oh, yeah, I remember that too. Yeah.
I didn't know that. I had to look that shit up because it was just like, are you sure about that? That's the only dialogue.
The sword and shit, right? Yeah, I remember that.
So that dude's going to be the Black Knight, which I just recently found out about. So the Black Knight's character is similar to Gar in the aspect of the sword gives him power, but it also corrupts him as well. Okay. So that's going to be crazy.
It seems to be a common theme.
Mm-hmm. And the sword doesn't let him die.
That's helpful.
Yeah. So like I just read a little spread about the Black Knight because I wanted to know more. Mm-hmm. And motherfucker got decapitated. Head off the body, separated. Just it's chilling over there. He on the slab and everything. And he had the sword in his clutches, or you know how they buried the old school motherfuckers with the sword on his chest. And this motherfucker just came back. Pow! Just pulled him back together because the sword won't let him die.
That's insane.
Unless he relinquishes it. If he gives it up, if he's like, hey, I don't want this shit no more, then he could die. But as long as he has the sword in his possession and he claims ownership, it won't let him die.
That's amazing shit right there, y'all.
But it corrupts him. And it uses the rage inside of him to give him power. So like when he goes into battle and he gets angry and shit, it makes him stronger. But the stronger he gets, the more corrupt it starts taking hold. So he can downplay it and try to stay calm and be like, haha. Cause like I'm reading it and he's kind of lame and shit because he's fighting and everything, but he's using like, haha, I'm here. I'm the Black Knight. I'm doing stuff. And he's just playing himself down because he's trying to stay calm in battle, but he's weaker in that state. But when he get mad, he just fucking amp the fuck up and he just, but he slowly feel himself turning and shit. But speaking of turning, let's turn the page because I get started on this shit. I ain't gonna stop. I got a convoluted intro. We already 10 minutes in, but I'm gonna go ahead and kick that. I'm gonna introduce you and then we just roll right on to what the fuck we're already doing.
You are now listening to Random Ramblings with Rob. Yay!
It's random. Random ramblings with Rob. This is the anthem. Random. It's random. Random ramblings with Rob. This is the anthem. Random. It's random. Random ramblings with Rob. This is the anthem. Random. It's random. Random ramblings with Rob. Are we hearing anything in this bitch? This is the anthem. God bless the child while he listens to some random spitting bars and stanzas, ripping mics, etc. Go against the y'all, you gotta know he Tony Danza. That's B-Rob, he the boss, MC God. Give you what you want every week with some deep dives. Revise everything you know about this podcast. We're trying to take over the world with this podcast. We hit your ears every week with the monsoon. We broadcasting the SoundClouds and iTunes. The Twitch scream say random, what you gonna do? The Twitch scream say random, what you gonna do? Subscribe, like, share. Listen to the Random Ramblers with Rob podcast. If you're listening right now, you're welcome.
What up, everybody? This your boy B-Rob, and I'm back with another edition of the Random Ramblers with Rob podcast. What up, everybody? This your boy B-Rob, and I'm back with another edition of the Random Ramblers with Rob podcast. First and foremost, I'd like to thank you, the listener, for coming back each and every week, or however you listen to podcasts. If you're a first-time listener, I'd like to thank you oh so much for giving my show a try. And if anybody recommended you to me, I would like for you to lean over and give that person a crisp high five. But I know we got shit going on in the world right now. You might not want to be too close to motherfucking slapping hands and sliding skin across each other, wrists and whatnot. But you can pick up your social media app of choice and send that person in a well-crafted DM telling them thank you for recommending you to me. Speaking of social media, you can find the Random Ramblings with Rob on various social media platforms to include Twitter at 3R Show, Instagram at The 3R Show. And if you want to see this interview, you can go to YouTube and search 3R Show. For anything that I may have forgotten to mention, you can go to randomrob.com to where you can find many different ways to help support the show. And you might find the sponsor. This is where I changed the hats for the video people. Boom. Hooks, Rubs, and Spices. You can go to hooksrub.com and you can get the seasoning for your evenings. I just made that rhyme up and whatnot. And it could be some candlelight lit shit, you know. I'm just saying. You can treat your lady to something special, which I might have to put some Hooks, Rubs, and Spices in my TSA carry-on because we're going to Vegas next week. And we might be doing some romantic shit and whatnot. And I might, you know, some of these restaurants ain't gonna have the hooks rubs, baby. So I gotta go in the bag, in the pocket, sprinkle some of that on there. You know, some of that Houston, that H-Town all-purpose seasoning and whatnot. Or if you're getting some Hispanic delights and whatnot, I can get some of that everyday taco seasoning put on that joint and whatnot. Mm-hmm. But anyway, I mean, you could put hooks rubs on everything. I seen the motherfuckers make a drink with this shit. But go to hooksrub.com and you can get 15% off your order if you use promo code RANDOM. So now I put the hat back on. Boom. Wham. Now joining me amongst the illustrious wrestlers in all the annals of professional wrestling to ever join the Random Rounds with Rob. We have various guests to come here. Brian Cage, freaking Kiefer Bartek, goddamn JJ Blake, freaking Blake Cortez just most recently or whatever. And the common theme with that is speaking of JJ Blake and Blake Cortez and all that stuff, former active duty military members. So also joining to me, former active duty military member, Carlie Bravo. How are you, sir?
Fucking bad news, man. I'm chilling, brother. How you doing?
Oh man, it's not bad news. You here?
Yeah, right. I'll take that, my nigga.
Yeah, man. So I appreciate you taking your time, being up so early, because I went to see Thor late and I had a couple drinks and everything.
Oh yeah, for sure. And, same here.
And it was a great time and whatnot, but here we are in the AM and I'm getting to chat with you. So I appreciate your time. I appreciate
you for having me, Bubba. Thank you.
Yeah. But I know of you because of professional wrestling, but I became more intrigued with you because of your former active duty military status, which
yep.
Yeah, so first off, in ring, in gear, between the four ropes, see this big ass USMC tattoo, and I'm like, Well, goddamn. Here we go. We got another one. I
it
talked
is big as hell. Yep.
Yeah, I know. I talked to Danny Limelight not too long ago as well. He's a fellow Devil Dog and whatnot.
That's my boy.
That was the hook or whatever. As soon as they made the announcement, I think he was on Dark or one of the shows or whatever. He said, former active duty drill instructor or whatever. I was just like,
I'm gonna follow him. Yep.
Follow. And then I was like,
man, that's my boy. Yep.
I was like, there was the hook too. I was like, I got the DM. I was like, hey, Devil Dog.
That works. That's how you get it.
So what was your experience with that as well? As it's like, because I know being in and whatnot, just going through boot camp and just being indoctrinated into the military system and whatnot. Devil Dog has some different connotations. It's almost like the N-word in a sense, to where like it could be positive, it could be negative, it could be like what the fuck,
Man, I'm a fucking Devil Dog all the way. Yeah. But then I guess, damn, I'm also a nigga. So go back though. But yeah, yo, I'm a devil all the way, yo. That's my jaunt. I got tattoos on me everywhere. I got tons of Marine tattoos. You know what I'm saying? That I was in there for 8 years. You know what I'm saying? I was infantry literally whole time, son. So I'm really about that action. You know, and it made me, and it wouldn't be no me without that. So yeah, I rep that shit proudly.
Word. So did you fall into the common trope with that first Marine Corps tattoo or whatever? Did you get it and it was just like, yeah, motivation and whatnot? Then you look at it.
Hell nah. I didn't get actually I'm different there, but I didn't get a single military tattoo till I got out the military.
All right. So yeah, I wish I kind of did. I wish I kind of done it that way.
Oh, dude. No, dude. I couldn't, because when you're in it, you fucking hate it.
True.
You get what I'm saying? I'll be like, I can't wait to get out of here, And then you have a couple reunions with the boys. You guys get wasted. You wake up with the biggest USMC tattoo you've ever had in your entire life on your stomach.
So that was the first one?
No, my first one was the bulldog. I got that the day I got out.
Okay.
My first reunion was the stomach tattoo. You know what I'm saying? And everybody, all the boys went out. And it was quite the time. Everybody got a moto tat. Every single person got a moto tat. So it was pretty lit.
Word. I think my first one came when I was going into MOS school. So
okay, cool.
I'm Motor T. So
all right. Hot Motor T.
Hey man, we gotta take y'all where y'all gotta go.
You damn straight y'all do that. Hell yeah.
So I went to boot camp, went to MCT. Between MCT and MOS school, because I went to Fort Leonard, Missouri. So we stopped in St. Louis and we had time to kill before they came and picked us up. So I'm just walking around and everything. And we got even some. Well, hold on, I gotta get my timeline right, because you know how the shit goes, drinking and all kinds of other crazy shit.
Yeah.
So we was in St. Louis and I was like, yeah, this is where I get the moto tattoo. This is where I get the Devil Dog tattoo. So I went to a tattoo shop in St. Louis, and I was like, boom, this is what I want. This is my idea. They got a bulldog and you got devil horns and shit. I was like, I want that, but I want the body to be like an angel and shit, motherfucker with wings and all kind of crap like that. So the dude doing the head and everything, I was like, hey, whoa. We ain't even discussed price. How much is this gonna be? He's like $200 and some odd dollars, and the tattoo ain't that big. And I'm like, little broke ass kid right out the boot camp and shit. I'm like, hey man, can you just like do the head? And I just figured this shit out later. So
yeah, dude, I feel that, dude. That's a scary. You never want to be in a chair and they tell you it's more money than you actually have in your pocket. That's terrifying.
So he did the bulldog head with the horns and shit, and I was like, and it's like that fucking big, and I was like, yeah, this is good. We'll do this. Perfect. And then we get some leave time during MOS school, and I go to another tattoo joint and I'm like, hey man, can you put the body on this bitch? And he's like, oh yeah,
that's awesome.
Put the body on that mug, and all I wanted was the devil dog horn joint with the body. And this dude was all moto. He had a whole shop full of Marines because he just opened up, and he's like, hey man, I threw a little extra on there. And I looked down because the dude got his arms crossed and he put USMC on the arm bracelet or whatnot. And I was like, hey man, I didn't ask for that shit. I want a symbolism. I ain't want no fucking beat me over the head with it.
Hey man, it's the game, man.
Yeah, but like shit, I don't know if you can see this shit, but like this whole.
Oh yeah, I see it.
So you can even tell. Look, that's the head that got by itself, and then the body is way different.
It don't even matter. I love it. That's dope.
So I was just like, years later, get all these prison house tattoos and all this other crazy shit, and I'm just like, I should have waited, because now I got different ideas of what I could have did with it and whatnot. And I'm still,
man, you can still get it. You can do all kind, man. I love. I mean, shit, man. Tattoos are everything, man. I get a new tattoo every week. Bad news tattoos. It fits.
So, because what I'm interested in right now, I got out as a staff sergeant and whatnot, so I don't have any on my hands and everything. I mean, what'd that feel like? Because I see you got a couple of them.
Yeah, my hands are done. My hands are blasted. The hands hurt. You know, hands aren't fun. All tattoos hurt, bro.
Well, yeah, I know, but
you know, listen,
there's different layers to that pain.
There are, but all tattoos hurt, son. So, but yeah, hands are a soft spot, bro. But I mean, it's not bad. Come on, fucking nigga, do this.
Yeah, because I'm thinking about just getting the staff sergeant joint right here. Just
the chevrons.
Yeah,
that'd be dope. That'd be real dope.
I'll punch a bitch in the face. Yeah. But shit, I mean, how many do you think you got right now?
Oh, I don't even know. I couldn't even count. I don't even. Over 100.
Yeah, because I mean, mine's is kind of spaced or whatever, so I can actually count mine. I think I got like 34, so I'm like nowhere in your ballpark right now.
Oh yeah, I'm out of control with tattoos, so I know that. Just I had nothing on the face. That's it. That's the only spot that's not done.
So it's just like I know it's a thing, because I mean I know it can take over you or whatever, like the symbiote, like I was talking about earlier.
Yeah.
But like, you ever thought about making that like a passion thing on the side or whatnot? Maybe having a tattoo shop. Can you draw? I mean,
I'm not a drawer. I mean, I could draw, but I'm not good enough to be no tattoo artist. I don't even think for me, that's it. For me, that's just my form of expression. I've always thought they were really cool. I grew up in, the 2000s, 90s, you know what I'm saying? So that was, that just was it for me. I've never thought that it would be more than just getting them to tell my story and being like, making me look different, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? But shit, the opportunity ever presented itself. Batista opened a shop. Ooh. Batista got a dope tattoo shop. You know what I'm saying? I think it's either in Florida or Philly. It's one of those two. But it's dope, yeah.
That might be destination booking I need to check out.
Yeah, he got a dope tattoo shop. So for sure.
Word. So what drew you to join in the military and everything? I mean, wasn't it escape? Was it family lineage? What's going on?
I just life, man. I grew up in a different time. Like it's different than it was now, at least. Mm-hmm. So I was just trouble, and I needed, and I think the powers that be decided that I needed some discipline in my life. Decided that it wasn't I needed to sit down and learn some discipline and learn some. What else can you say that we learned in there? Discipline's the main word that comes to my mind. But get my shit
everything.
Together.
Discipline is the key word.
I got put in the military. And I thought it was going to be like, I tried to campaign for like anything, because I didn't want to go to the military. I was fresh, and they were like, no, we think you need the hardest form of discipline. So I learned. I went to the Marines, and best thing that ever happened to me, by far. But it wasn't my choice to go. I did not want to go, but I'm glad that I went, because I needed that at the age that I went. You know what I'm saying?
Word. I imagine you went East Coast, correct?
Paris Island Marine. Yup.
All right. So I mean, I went West Coast, but that's par from the course.
I'm a Paris Island Sand Fleet Marine. I hated that place.
Oh, yeah. And it's ironic. Well, not ironic. I mean, it's just, how monitors get. Hey, we got this spot. We need you to go. All right, I'm gone. So
yeah,
I went back. Well, I didn't go back because I went to San Diego for boot camp, but I went to Paris Island to be a black shirt instructor. So like BWT, the gas chamber, freaking rappel tower, all that crap. So that, I think, despite the area, I think that was probably the most fun years of my career.
That's awesome. Yeah.
Yeah.
I loved being in the military. Mm-hmm. At the time, I don't think that I realized it.
Oh no. Yeah. Because you get put through shit,
Oh yeah, and you get shit. You know what I'm saying? So I love it though. It was, it was some bad. It was some bad crazy shit, but I love that shit.
I didn't get to ask Blake about it though, but like, what was your first military ball like? The first Marine Corps birthday?
Savage, fucking madness. My first military ball came after I left Afghanistan.
Oh.
After my first deployment. So like, we was really on one. You feel me? It was really a celebration of us making it home.
Coming back.
You know what I'm saying? I went, I was in the Corps right after 9/11.
Same.
You smell what I'm saying? Right. Mm-hmm. So like, you remember, that was like wartime Corps. You dig what I'm saying? Like, it was a totally different ball game.
Hell yeah.
So we was out there going nuts. My first Marine Corps ball was phenomenal. You get what I'm saying? So, hoorah, bro.
I'm not gonna lie to you because going back to the sentiment earlier, like when you're in, it's just like a bunch of bullshit and everything, and it's just a lot of shenanigans.
Yeah.
I didn't go, like I did 16 years, but I didn't go to my first Marine Corps birthday ball till like I think I might have been well over 10 years in.
Wow, that's crazy.
I avoided that shit like the plague. I
get it. People wouldn't get that unless they were in it. I get it.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, I'm not finna. Why? I totally get it. Yo. You know what I'm saying? I get it.
It's just like, I'm with y'all ass damn near 24 hours a day. Why I'm off work. I want to be away from you.
Absolutely. I'm not gonna pay money to dress up and go see y'all in the same outfit I gotta have inspections in. Get out of here. Yeah. I get it.
Yeah, and despite like what the tropes of us are, we look good in the blues or whatnot. I didn't get a set of blues until they made it mandatory.
Yeah.
And I was just like, man, I got to spend extra money on this shit. We
had to have them. I was a Hawaii Marine.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So we had a lot of inspections whenever we was back at base, whenever we wasn't deployed. They was on their shit. So we had all kind of inspections. It was the same.
Word. It was the same. It was just like, I think I wore my alphas more than anything.
Oh, that's crazy. Yeah. I was a big cami Marine. I never, you know what I'm saying? We wore our camis all the
time. So what was that experience, first hitting PI, getting off the bus and everything, and, just these random motherfuckers yelling at you? I mean, what was that shock like for you?
Is it really shock? Like, you knew it was coming. It was wild, but mm-hmm. I kind of knew it was coming. Mm-hmm. I think that it was it's just more surreal that you're actually going through it, but again, they tell you like, yo, listen, when you get there, they're gonna be yelling at you. There's gonna be yellow footprints, and you're gonna want to, you know what I'm saying? Like they kind of give you the game before you get there. So I was like, all right, cool. Like, but these motherfuckers really be out here yelling and screaming. And what's that weird thing he's doing with his voice? Why he sound like that? You already know, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, what the fuck does he sound like that for, bro? But yeah, it was cool. It was wild. It was definitely what I expected it to be.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because like I was telling Blake the last time, I was like, my perception going in was like it was gonna be on some Full Metal Jacket shit. Like I was gonna have to fight motherfuckers or whatever. Like I'm getting, try to shank me in with fucking, all kinds of crap.
First, real funny story. My very first day at basic training, I got knocked out by my drill instructor.
Fuck.
First day there. Well, I mean, like first day, maybe not first day, because we do the fucking, you gotta run through yellow footprint. I'm talking about when I got to my platoon. You know what I'm saying? When I got my first day there, when you meet your staff sergeant, you're seeing drill instructors and shit like that. This nigga told me to do some shit, and I was like, who the fuck are you, bro? Like, I just didn't like how he said it, and he said something, and I think I said something back. And
I think I did.
Yeah, I said that because I remember getting woke the fuck up. You know what I'm saying? And I became his guy after that. You know how that goes. You know what I'm saying? But like, because but boy, I remember getting picked up. and from there on, I'll be honest, from there on, changed the whole game for me. You know what I'm saying? Because that's when I was like, oh, these motherfuckers are for real. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh shit, yeah, it was wild.
Because it almost comes from a sense. I mean, I can't speak personally to your upbringing or whatever, but like, I see it in my son as well. We were not really children of consequence per se. You know, I mean, we would get in trouble and shit. You know, oh, you know, I'm gonna take this from you or whatnot. You go stay in your room or something.
Huh? Like we knew that we were gonna get consequences, right? But it was. I also think that we were children of pride too. You know, our generation was like, you can't tell me nothing. I'm out here. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So like, if you said something, yo, who you talking to? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like we knew that there was going to be trouble because we saw mass incarcerations, we saw police brutality, we saw all that stuff coming up. You get what I'm saying? So we knew that there was issues. You know what I'm saying? But it was like, fuck, I'm gonna stand on my two, and it's gonna be what it is. You know? But Jesus Christ, the Marine Corps will break that shit down fast.
Yeah, and it's by design or whatnot, from just like making you sit Indian style on the quarterdeck, and you're like, why I gotta sit like this? I hadn't did this since elementary school or whatever. And then you get on the rifle range, and you know why.
Yep.
You know? Yep. So, damn, did I say Indian style? I don't think that's politically correct now. Crisscross applesauce. Yeah, but man, so you did 8 years and everything. I mean, within that time span and whatnot, did you already have an awareness of professional wrestling, or was it something that came later?
I've been a fan of professional wrestling my whole life. You know what I'm saying? I grew up in the 90s. You know, there was no way you grew up in the 90s and didn't know Stone Cold Steve Austin, The Rock, Undertaker, or Shawn Michaels. You knew at least one of them. You know what I'm saying? If you really want, or you can even say Hollywood Hogan. You know what I'm saying? I'll throw him in there, or Goldberg. You know, there's certain people that just outstood time back in those days. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, fuck out of here. Absolutely. You know what I'm saying? I watched wrestling my entire life. You know what I'm saying? I don't know how wrestling is now. I think it's interesting being a fan as an adult, but like back in the day, you couldn't escape that. You know, I didn't know a single kid that was from 7 years old to like, let's say maybe 14 when we found out about chicks. I don't know a single dude that wasn't watching wrestling. You know, it was our fucking real life superheroes. Like, I couldn't believe it. You know what I'm saying? So I've always been on the wrestling. Always thought it was fly. I was into it from a very young age. When I was like 4 or 5, I started watching wrestling.
Word. Yeah. So, because I can remember, I think when Stone Cold really started to hit and everything, when he became Stone Cold Steve Austin, I had every damn near, I would say every, but I had majority of all of his shirts.
Yeah. You know? Yeah. Stone Cold was that guy. I was the Shawn Michaels guy. You know what I'm saying? So I was a big Shawn Michaels and DX guy. So and Hardy Boys. Oh, Jesus Christ. You know what I'm saying? So I was super into them. Dude, I had all their fucking merch. NWO was them niggas. I mean, I used to love them. Excuse me. They was the guys. You know what I'm saying? So I used to really be onto them. So it was crazy.
Word. So having that a part of your life, because I mean, I totally understand. Same thing. As long as back as I can remember, wrestling has been a part of, you know, my being and whatnot. When did you actually get the bug? Like, when did it like grab a hold and be like, hey man, I need to get in and do this myself?
I've always kind of had it. I wrote in my yearbook when I graduated high school that I was going to be a wrestler. Yeah. So I've kind of always knew that this is what I wanted to do in my life. You know, I used to wrestle on a school bus with dudes. You know what I'm saying? Like, we used to have like whole battle royals on the back of the school bus. Very unsafe, but very fun.
Like, you like them dudes now that be on the subway car and shit, dressed up.
Yeah, we was wild. I used to wrestle at friends' houses. Me and my, like, I mean, I always did it. All right, but then you kind of lose it. You know, again, we weren't really the generation of dreamers back in our day.
You gotta have a job.
Yeah, we were raised them. Now parents had jobs, grandparents always had jobs. You know what I'm saying? It was college was supposedly the big thing that they were stressing to. Then 9/11 happened, and the world kind of put everything on pause. You feel what I'm saying? So once I got put in the military, like that's just how my life went. You know what I'm saying? Like I never came back. I thought about it when I got out the military. You know, like, hey, I should wrestle. But then, you know, this is the first time I've been out the military in almost 10 years. So, like, you know, of course, I'm like, well, you know, maybe I should go to college and figure some things out. And all this. That's what the life is like. So I just lived. And then COVID happened. And I was like, yo, you know what, yo? Like, I started going to the gym a lot before that and stuff like that. So I was physically fit. I was doing Spartan races and stuff like that. I was like, yo, you know what? gonna check this out, yo. And one thing led to another, and kaboom, it just blew up. Yeah.
Word.
Yeah.
Yeah, you talk about them Spartan races or whatever. I was a part of those, but not in the sense of like I was a participant. Like I was the motherfucker on the side putting water in the pits and shit.
Oh nah, man! I used to love doing old courses and stuff back in the day. You know, like but again, we infantry, we lived out there doing that stupid stuff. You know what I'm saying? So I just liked doing it. It was always cool to me. Yeah, it was wild.
Yeah. I can remember being out in the field and I see you out there doing that. And that's when we can roll the windows up in the 5-ton and shit. I was just like,
oh yeah.
See you out there doing buddy rushes and shit. And I'm just like,
have fun.
Roll this window up real quick.
Yep, have fun. Yep.
Yeah, man. But just being attached to like the infantry units, because my first unit was a 2nd Tank Battalion. I don't think they even a thing anymore in Lejeune. But like whenever they would go out to the field to go qualify with the tanks and everything, I was either there in the ambulance or the fucking fuel truck, and I'm just like,
oh man, yeah, man. I've been on there many a days. That's so crazy.
Yeah, it's just, dude. So let me tell you how lavish my life was as a Motor T operator. So they gave us the big ambulance or whatever, not the soft top, the big shell joint and whatnot. And I would get with the cooks because they had like a power inverter. Because you know, sometimes when you go out to the field, you can plug it up into the battery joint into the vehicles, right? And you use it to like warm your vats and all kinds of junk. So it had some house plugs on that motherfucker, some AC adapters. So I was like, hey man, I know they got this, and I know I'm gonna be out there this day to this day for this week. I'm gonna bring my motherfucking TV and my Nintendo 64. After breakfast in the morning, whenever they go out to the range or whatever and fire, and I'm sitting in the back of the ambulance, I was like, hey man, let me get that inverter. Put it up in the battery joint. And right in the back cab, they had this little cubby hole up there in the ambulance, that 13-inch TV. And it was like the big booty joint too. Fit that
perfectly.
Perfect.
I already know.
Slide that motherfucker in there, and I'm in there playing No Mercy in WrestleMania 2000.
Yo, we was the kings of ingenuity back. You know what I'm saying? The Marines don't play when it comes to being MacGyver's and ingenuity and just putting things together. That's real.
So and it is just like everybody that would come in the ambulance or whatever, I'm just like, hey man, let me make you a character real quick. And I'm just
That's dope. That's dope.
But I would love that shit, man. And shit. That I need to give me another one just for nostalgic purposes and symbolism or whatnot. Because
I got me a 64. I got No Mercy. I got NWO versus WCW Revenge. I got all that stuff.
Hell yeah.
WrestleMania 2000.
I even when I went to MOS school in Missouri, I had my mom send me my motherfucking Nintendo.
That's crazy.
And I'm in the bricks. Fucking WrestleMania 2000 in it up.
Yep.
Word. So damn, you make the decision like, hey man, life is short. COVID's running amok and whatnot. I need to do it now, or I'm not going to do it later.
Yeah.
So is the Nightmare Factory where you landed, or was it somewhere else where you sought out training?
Nah, I am a first generation Nightmare Factory guy. I hit up a friend of mine who I knew was a big wrestling promoter in Atlanta. He was like, I'm not going to teach you how to wrestle, but I got somebody. I'm going to send your name to somebody. And if he likes you, he'll get in contact with you. So I'm like, okay, cool. Word. My phone rang a couple days later and it was freaking QT Marshall. You know what I'm saying? And that's not the guy you expect to be hitting your phone. You know what I'm saying? He's like, hey, I heard a lot about you. Cause I was a big rapper in Atlanta at the time. You know what I'm saying? So, or rather, let me rephrase. I had been a big rapper in Atlanta. You know what I'm saying? So when I got the military, I moved here. That's how I made a name for myself out here. So all the, you know what I'm saying? I had been at all the wrestling shows. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody kind of knew me in Atlanta. So he's like, hey, I've heard about you. I got referred to you by this guy. You ever thought of being a pro wrestler? You got a lot of stuff going on. And I was like, have I ever? So I met him. I met him. He took a liking to me. And he introduced me to Cody. And kaboom! I started training. Here we are. Yeah, I was part of the first Nightmare Factory class. It was the coolest thing that ever happened to me. And from there, I just started grinding. That was 2 years ago.
Word.
It was in, and so as of I'm first generation AEW homegrown talent, baby.
Yeah, that's wild to think about. So like, I have a minor in professional wrestling training or whatever as well. My last year in the military, I found an indie promotion out there where I was stationed, and I just kind of like, I dove in. I was like, hey man, if you need help with anything, I'm here to do that. Set up the ring, move chairs, all that crap. And in exchange, they offered to train me, So I did that. And what I want to know from you is, how jarring or how awkward was it to take that first bump?
It sucked. But I always tell people the bumps suck, but what they don't tell you about is the ropes.
Ooh,
the bumps suck. The ropes are worse.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what it is. I don't know if maybe you just had to get used to it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you had to figure it out or whatever, but my back was bruised. Everybody in my class's back was bruised the fuck up off those ropes. You know what I'm saying? And I couldn't understand like how people just hit. I remember being home like, oh my God.
Mm-hmm.
Like it, and the bumps suck. Bumps. I just got to a point in my career where I don't feel bumps anymore.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's a scary shit. That's a scary way of being. You know what I'm saying? Because I felt that all of them. I felt all of them. But the ropes worse, way worse. Ugh. Those ropes be steel cables. You know what I'm saying? Super tight, thick. Oh, Jesus Christ.
Yeah. And then like, especially when you're first starting out with the training and everything, I mean, it's all about repetition and then establishing that muscle memory and whatnot. So I can imagine that y'all hit those ropes a lot. So I can see where the discomfort comes from and whatnot.
Oh yeah. Now I'm used to it. Now I don't even feel it anymore. But at first, wow.
I know for me personally, the move that I hated taking the most was just the plain Jane fucking body slam. I hated that shit with a goddamn passion. And just like
me, baby, because I'm a big body slam boy. I'll be dropping them. Yeah.
So I mean, in that vein or whatever, I mean, what's the move that you so far hate taking the most?
I can't say this move I hate taking the most. I can tell you the worst move I've ever taken. The one that sucked the most. I can tell you that. You just mentioned his name a little bit ago. My boy, Brian Cage. Cage put me in a drill claw.
Oh,
I don't know if you know what a drill claw is. He starts up like a suplex, spins you, grabs you, and hits you with a freaking pile driver. I thought I died. I thought I died. It's on TV. There's like a big YouTube thing of it. I literally sit straight up in the air. I'm a tall dude. I'm not small. Taller than Cage. You get what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
When he sat me, he was literally 1, 2, 3. You don't usually see people after your matches. My man grabbed me immediately after the match. He's like, bro, did I kill you? And I'm like, no, I'm okay. Thanks, bro. Love you.
Did I kill you?
Man, that was the scariest move I've ever taken. He's a big guy, and he just muscles you. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's not a little guy by no imagination.
Yeah. It's like, you have no choice. I'm going this way now.
Yeah, it's exactly what it is. It's awkward having people throw your body like that. I'm a grown-ass man. I don't get thrown around too often.
I mean, I'm not laughing at your pain. It's just like,
no, I feel you.
Oh, fuck. It's just, that's mind-boggling to me to even think about.
Yeah, that was wild.
So, just being, brought into the realm of professional wrestling, going on the road, doing shows and everything. Most of the time, like you said 2 years ago, so you were in there doing the era of COVID and whatnot, a lot of the empty arena shows and all kinds of things like that or whatever. I mean, what was that experience like for you?
I think it was awesome.
Yeah. I mean, not to cut you off or anything, but me just thinking about it, just from the outside looking in, as far as somebody new coming into the professional wrestling business, getting time to practice and whatever, I think that might have been probably the best time to do it, man.
So yes, and you gotta remember, not just practice, but like being able to, like I said, I'm first generation AEW guy, right? So like I'm there. I'm not just wrestling there. I'm actually watching the matches.
Watching it grow.
Nobody else in their arena. Like I never forget. I saw. I don't remember. It was a lot of people in the match, but I remember it was Kenny Omega and Phoenix in the match. right? And I'm watching them fight in an empty arena, and I'm like that close, you know, and I'm like, what? You know, like how often does a kid get to start playing basketball, and then the very like a week later after he starts playing basketball, a month later after he starts playing basketball, does he get to go and sit in the front row of an NBA game and have these two NBA teams play hard? You know what I'm saying? He's there by himself watching. Never happens. You know, I got to see firsthand, like I got to graduate from wrestling school and then see exactly what it took to get to the top. You know what I'm saying? It was surreal. I don't think I realized at the time what I was watching. Like I knew what I was seeing, but I didn't realize like this is the other part of the school. You know, that I couldn't even ask for a better introduction to my world of wrestling.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like live film study or whatever. It's just like
literally
right here in front of you. And I mean, you have the access as well. It's just like, you know, if they got the time, but like, hey, real quick, what do you think about this? How can I do this and whatnot and whatnot? You know, so
it's wild. It's real,
man. So I know you're still kind of young in your career or whatever, but like, I know you speak to some of your favorites earlier on in the interview or whatnot, but like now, you know, just being in it for a minute and whatnot, has your, as far as people that you admire, has that changed at all? Like for people currently and whatnot?
100%. Yeah. I see wrestling differently now.
Yeah. Even my little small stint, I look at things and I'm just like, oh boy.
I see wrestlers differently now. I see how they work differently now. It's a big difference to me. So yeah, my not so much of my favorites from back in my young days have changed, but I've taken a liking and I've taken a watch to so many different guys now that I probably don't know if I would have had I not been in the game to see it firsthand.
Word.
Yeah.
Cool beans.
Yeah, man.
So we talk about, you know, the brotherhood which we have being military members and whatnot. And just like you said, you can do 4 years or 8 years or full 20, 15, you know, just, you know, various amounts of time. And, you know, you establish long lasting relationships and whatnot. I kind of feel like professional wrestling is like that in a sense as well. It's somewhat of an institution and everything like that. But do you have your own little inner group within professional wrestling with your former active duty service members and whatnot?
Of course I got a clique, bro. That's really what you're saying, right? I got a clique, I got a crew, yeah. And there's mad cliques. You know what I'm saying? Like I've always been a social person. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's not on your journey with you. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So there's different, I've been blessed and fortunate enough to be able to pass through different scenes and pass through different people. You know what I'm saying? So I got my clique out here and my local clique. And then I got my Impact clique that I go kick it with. And I got my AEW clique that I go kick it with. I got my Fed boys I go kick it with when I'm up there. You know, it's just, and you got your circle of friends that you just meet and put together, and you just, it's wild, yo. It's wild. But I definitely got my crew. You know what I'm saying? I definitely got my crew, man, my gang for sure. And they are amazing.
Word. So I'm gonna throw some names out there. I usually do this from time to time and whatnot, and I just want your opinions and thoughts on these people that I give you.
Okay.
The captain, Sean Dean.
The GOAT, the man, the myth, the legend, my guy. Best tag team partner in the business. Best friend for life.
Word. One of the names that you brought up earlier, Kenny Omega.
Best wrestler I've ever seen.
Word. Cody Rhodes.
My mentor. Took a chance on Bad News and Tattoos. I owe him everything.
Where we'll come back to that in a second. QT Marshall.
My motivation, I guess you can say. You know, he puts the fire, the chip on my shoulder, I guess you'll say. I like that. But the best wrestler I think that no one gives credit to.
You know, I'm seeing that.
Yeah.
I'm seeing that because I know in the beginning, like when I first started getting those initial doses of him, whenever the company started up and everything, they started doing the TV stuff. I was like, lame. Why is this dude on here or whatever?
Yo, he wanted you to think that.
Yeah. But as I get to know more of the, what he does actually and everything, and then like I'm seeing it, and
Listen,
he's in a good position.
I will go on record as to say, and this has nothing to do with his backstage stuff or nothing to do with his, because he's like the number 3 guy in the company as far as like backstage. Like he runs it, but he's the best wrestler on that roster. He's trained, let's say, most of that roster.
Yeah,
he continues to. And that, you know what I'm saying? So every once in a while, you'll see him bring something out. But that's all I'm going to say about him.
And I understand that, too, because, like, you can teach, people things or whatever. But, you got to be the performer as well. I mean, I don't know. Because, it has to come from somewhere, I know some people have that encyclopedic knowledge about a lot of things or whatever. But, you got to be able to apply the science and everything.
Yeah, facts.
And it's just also cool for him as well, because like AEW has really been a platform for him, and it's just because it's been so good to him, in turn it's good for everybody that surrounds him, people that he gets to train and touch and influence their life and everything.
100%.
So 100%. That's amazing. So I that was 4, I think. I'm trying to come up with another one. Name that comes to my mind right off top. You speak about Atlanta and everything. Baron Black.
Baron Black. Underrated. Criminally underrated. Or criminally underrated. Another wonderful teacher of mine. That's my guy.
Yeah. And speaking of Baron Black, he's been here before, and I've talked to him about it, and I forgot again to talk to Blake Cortez about this, but since I got you, I want to know. It's a thing in wrestling that I've been noticing for some years and whatnot. I wish I had my hat in here. It's a particular move that Black professional wrestlers like to do a lot, and it's
Which one?
Move called the Flatliner.
Is that a thing?
Dude, have you noticed it? Because I could rattle off some names, and I'm seeing a lot of indie presence with a lot of Black brothers doing the Flatliner, and I'm adopting it as I move. I'm just saying.
That's crazy. I never thought of it as a Black wrestler thing. It's up there. All right, so let me blow your mind a little bit more. Mm-hmm. There's wrestling moves that have been used over the last decade a whole lot, right? When you think of that, like in my mind, the very first one I'll think of is the super kick. You know what I'm saying? Every single person is a super kicker. Then you've got, after the super kick, I'd say the moonsault. Yeah. Everybody's a fucking moonsault person. I think coming up on that scale is the flatliner. Mm-hmm. Everyone's doing a flatliner. I think that's where that's going. I'll see it that way. I don't ever see it as just a Black thing. I'm definitely cutting that out of my Rolodex.
No, man, you got to put it in.
I actually just started doing them, and I feel terrible.
No. I mean it in a good way or whatever. I know it started with the guy Ghetto in New Japan, and then Chris Canyon made it a popular
Chris
move.
Canyon
he brought it to the States and everything. But like I've noticed over the years that it's become a staple in our moveset and whatnot. Because I know
I have a really good one.
Because I know as a kid personally or whatever, that was always a move I wanted to put in there. And I don't know if I'm genetically predisposed to wanting that shit.
Yeah.
But like,
it's easy. Grab you, come down with you, let's go.
Yeah. But I tagged you in the thread. I collected video evidence of multiple people on the indies and mainstream doing the flatliner, all Black people. It's all here. So I tagged you on Twitter. The evidence is there.
Okay.
But I'm just saying, I love the move. Nothing against it. And I just I want it to be ours. I know plenty of people do it. It's part of the big rig, the Shatter Machine or whatever. I think Blake Christensen does a variation of it. I can name plenty of non-Black people that does it, but the majority of us do it, and I want it to be ours.
Very well.
So, man, keep it in there.
I'm definitely going to keep it in. I'm definitely going to keep it.
Think about your fellow devil dog here. You get some camera time, get a little wink, at the camera, bam, flatline.
Brother. I got you.
Yeah, but I mean, this shit is fun. This shit is crazy. So much has happened. I mean, to think about it, I mean, I'm just kind of piecing it all together. I came in 2000.
Right.
So I had this small respite of peacetime while I was in my military career before 9/11 happened. I mean, I know you mentioned that before. And then, you know, from there, the whole 16 years of my career has been in service to post 9/11 stuff. And it just kind of, you know, drove me in my career and whatnot and the things that I've done. So I don't know, I'm putting random shit together in my mind. Your journey and then the timing of COVID or whatnot is just, it's almost, you know, kind of a parallel. It's just like it's driving your career or whatever to where like you might have been doing this, but it could have been in a whole different direction. But if COVID hadn't happened, I mean, it might.
I don't think I could have been doing this a long time ago, but I don't think I would have been Carlie Bravo. And I often, that's usually what I tell myself to give myself solace. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I might have been like Jacqueline the Destroyer, or who the hell knows? Or I don't know. You get what I'm saying? Like I needed to go through the journey I needed to get to, whether it was military or time or just because I was a grown ass man by the time I got to wrestling. Yeah, you know, there's not a lot of grown ass men in wrestling. Let me tell you. You dig what I'm saying? So and they just because they're of age, don't mean they grown ass men. You dig what I'm saying? So I need to be the guy that I am right now, so that I take it seriously. You dig what I'm saying? Like, I didn't come here. It's no coincidence that I've gotten as far as I've gotten in 2 years. You know what I'm saying? That's because I was a grown man. I knew what I came here to do, and I knew the moves I needed to make. I'm not out here dilly-dallying or you know, dicking around. You know, so it had to happen the way it did, especially so that Carlie Bravo could be who Carlie Bravo needed to be.
Yeah, especially because, like, as you were saying, the mindset is different because it's the same thing with the military. You come in like straight out of high school or something like that, and you still have that childlike mentality or whatever because of, you know, what you just left, and this is all still new.
Absolutely.
Now that you gain that focus and whatnot, is like, hey man, especially, I mean, wrestling is a seasonal thing, I guess, or whatever. I mean, there's people that goes beyond that season, I feel. I mean, you got Ricky Morton out there still doing motherfucking destroyers and shit.
You have to get in while your window's there. And I couldn't believe, you know, and I think my window, it was like, hey, you better get in here now where it's a wrap. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, fuck it, I ran it. That's the decision I made.
Word. So outside of the tattoos, outside of professional wrestling, I know we talked good for I've rambled for about a good 10 minutes before we started recording proper about comics and everything like that. I mean,
right.
What else are we into outside of those things?
I mean, I'm a pop culture guy. I love music. You know, I love movies.
Yes, X-Men shirt.
Yes, you know, I love Star Wars. Well, Star Wars over here, and Dolly over here. I like art. I love. Like I said, I'm a pop culture guy. You know what I'm saying? I love television shows. I love going out to eat. I like having fun. You know what I'm saying? I'm an adventure guy. You know what I'm saying? We only got one life. I'm big on that. You know what I'm saying? So I try to do as much as I can while I can do it. You know what I'm saying? I'm into all kinds of stuff, dude. You know what I'm saying? Literally everything. I like pops. You said pop culture. I seen the pops in the corner. I was like, about how many you got? About 200, 300.
Oh shit.
Yeah. I've got my own, which really is what turned the game out.
What?
So yeah.
Somebody made you like?
No, I got a pop.
Word. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, you know what? I mean, since I do the podcast stuff, you know, merchandising and, you know, all kinds of stuff, promotion or whatever, I wanted to get my own pop, but it's just like, I mean,
so what?
Ain't too much putting on there.
So what? Nah, dude, it's cool, man. Life is awesome, man. There's so many awesome things to get into, especially these days. Who'd have thought when we were kids that we'd be watching comic books on TV? What? You know what I'm saying? Right. So, like, I'm all with it.
So, to go back to them pops real quick or whatever. I mean, I got a few over there, but I have a specific set of rules for myself because I mean I don't want to be where you are with the 200 and so just pops just all over the place. So for me, I can only have professional wrestling pops, and I can only buy them if I'm in the physical vicinity of the pop. So I have to be in the store, and I have to physically. I can't get online because I mean that. Yeah,
so that's
that
the same way I was.
I
collected pops for like 2 years. That's when I got all of them. Somebody bought me one, and I was like, what the hell are these? And then I went out, and as I traveled, I bought some. So me and my friends started playing scavenger hunt games. You know what I'm saying? So it's not even like I don't have only something. I have hundreds of pops. You know what I'm saying? Just because I'm like, oh, that's lit. And then you take the picture, you send it to your friends. Like, look what I got, guys. I ain't got this one. So it got to a point for 2 years where me and my friends were always trying to outdo each other and get dope stuff. You know? And the rule was you have to be fit. You have to buy it. You can't go online. You can't do nothing like that because that takes away from it, you know?
Yeah.
If I'm in Minnesota, I know that I'm going to have pops available there that no one else is going to be able to have. So I'm going to go out there and I'm going to go look and I'm going to go grab something that is going to blow somebody's mind. That's how we played it. And, you know, so yeah. And I fell out of it once I started wrestling. You know, this was like right before COVID started hitting. I started going crazy on them. But yeah, it was awesome.
Yeah. I think I broke my rule once. And the only reason I did that, it was when they did the special, when they did the New Japan ones for the Bucks, Kenny Omega and Cody.
Yep. I got those at Hot Topic. I was so happy.
Yeah. Like I could not find them. And I kind of felt like, you know, this is going to be something that was going to be one and done, you know, so I had to get those.
Yeah, I got those. Yeah, I broke my rule too. I broke my rule with same. They said there was the only online available. It was The Fiend. I was a huge Fiend fan. And so I had to have that pop. The pop came out in April. I ordered that bad boy in November when they dropped it, you know? So that was the only one I bought online.
It's sitting in my Amazon cart right now. I'm debating on doing the same thing.
Listen, I had to have that. I got my Fiend pop right there. That pop was and you know what? Seeing how they did the Fiend and how the Fiend ended up his story and how he was only here for a year. You know what I'm saying? Like, I am so glad I have that pop.
Damn it.
You get what I'm saying? Like, that was like,
I know.
It's time.
Hold on. Let me see if it's still there. I'm gonna check it real quick. Just real quick.
Like if it would have been something that was around forever, maybe it would have lost its lackluster. But the way the world went, how we only got the Fiend for that little bit of time that we got him for, I'm on it.
Hold on, I'm in my bag here. Let me see. I want to see if it's still here. Yep, it's still here.
Yeah.
Hold on. I'll come back to that. So the one of you, I mean, did you get that made or somebody made it for you?
No, the people from the Pop People made it for me.
What?
Yeah, they sent it to me. It was really cool.
Oh man.
And it's not wrestler Carlie, it's rapper Carlie.
Shit.
They had a big thing out here in Atlanta. I performed at the show, at the festival, whatever. We got along wonderfully. And then I came home like a couple weeks later and they sent me a custom for me, like a pop.
Oh, that's fucking amazing.
Yeah, super cool.
Word. Damn.
It's cool. Yeah. It was really cool.
It's like I'm just thinking about just all of that. Just
shout out to Mark and Joe over there at Pop. They were awesome. It was really cool.
Well, goddamn. Well, shit, man. I think this is where we put a pin in it or whatever. I know it's an early morning or whatnot. We got to get things done.
I appreciate you, man. I appreciate you. This was lit.
Man, nah, I appreciate you giving me your time, especially this early goddamn in the morning. My kids are gonna be up in an hour, and I ain't gonna be able to go back to sleep.
Oh, it's done for you. It's done for you. Yeah, it's a wrap. I just brought my kid to camp, so it's on now.
Oh shit! Lucky you. But before you go, let everybody know where they can find you on social media and what you got going on.
Absolutely, man. Bad News Tattoos, man. You can find me everywhere at Carlie Bravo, CarlieBravo. Not Charlie, Carlie. Hard C on
I made that mistake. I'm not gonna lie.
Hard C on that, bro. I'm gonna fix that. I'm gonna make it very easy for you not to mess that up soon. But we'll get there. But you can find me on everything on Carlie Bravo. I'm easy. I'm on everything. I don't even know. What is it? Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Spaces. I'm too grown for a TikTok, so I ain't got one of those.
Oh, okay.
You know, so like you can find me. I'm not hard. Or just look up Bad News and Tattoos. You'll definitely find me then.
Word. And as it is always for every guest of the Random Rounds with Rob podcast, you have been here. The door is always open for you to come back, promote your next big thing, or just to shoot the shit.
I will come back, my friend. We'll talk all kinds of. We got to hit Star Wars and all the rest of that stuff next.
Oh yeah, I mean, I have thoughts on that. Yeah,
we have a lot to unpack.
Yes.